Good afternoon, everyone. I'll try again. Good afternoon, everyone. May I please have the attention of all the graduates? I just want to explain the procedure which you're going to follow when you come up on stage. Firstly, you need to have 3 things with you. The first one is your hood. The second one is your name card. And the third one is a yellow card like this. You need to fill it in. You'll be asked to come up row by row from the back. Then you come up on stage one by one. Next to this podium, there's a black mat stacked on the floor. Please stand on that mat, hand in your name card. As your name will be read, we take the first photograph of you from the camera situated in the middle of the hall. Please make sure you stand on that mat and look in that direction for you to get a nice photograph. From there, you walk across the stage. In the middle of the stage, there's a kneeling box. That's where your qualification will be conferred. From there, at the end of the stage, there's a box. There'll be someone standing on top of the box. You hand over your hood. You turn around. You look at the audience. You pretend to be happy for you to get a nice photograph again. That's where we take the second photograph of you. Ladies with high heels, as you go down the stairs, please be careful. You're going to turn right out of the glass doors. Then you walk all the way to the back. That's where we're going to take the last head and shoulder portrait of you. Then from there, you walk back to your seats. We're going to take each and every one who walks across the stage. However, should you wish to order these photographs, you're welcome to order them in the foyer. We're situated in the foyer. You go out, then you turn right. I think most of you have seen us. We have quite a number of studios that we have set up for family and friends photographs that you may like to take. Lastly, should you not have this yellow card, please raise your hand and someone will give you one. You're kindly asked to stand up right now as the procession marches in. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am now going to call on Judge Stephen Majid, who is the Chancellor of Plaatje University, to officially congregate this assembly.
Good afternoon. By virtue of the authority vested in me as the Chancellor, I constitute this gathering as a lawful congregation of the Plaatje University. Thank you.
Thank you. You may be seated, please. The SPU choir, would you please make your way to the front? Thank you. Let's give them another hand of applause. Thank you to our choir. I'm now going to invite our Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Andrew Crouch, to do the official welcome to this session of the graduation ceremony. Professor Crouch, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Chancellor, Judge Majid, our Chair of Council, Judge Bachwane, members of Council here present, our Plaatje University management, academic staff here present, support and professional staff present, members of the SRC, and I saw them earlier in their nice outfits, President of Convocation, special guests present, our donors, our parents, guardians, relatives, sponsors, alumni, friends, but last but not least, you, your gradiandi, and the ones who are going to receive your diplomas. Welcome to this 8th graduation ceremony of Plaatje University. I also like to welcome those audiences who are logged in virtually, and I'm sure they're going to enjoy the festivities as much as we are going to do so. Now, today is a very special event, not only for yourself, but for those who have supported you. Graduations are always special events because graduations is a moment of celebration. It's a moment of celebration of your achievements and the culmination of those achievements over many, many years of very, very intense study, learning, experiencing, some people even say heartbreak, disappointment, and many, many other feelings. But most importantly, graduation is a time to say thank you. So before I continue with the rest of my address, could I just ask that you, as the ones who are going to receive your diplomas today, that you give a special thank you to those people who have assisted you on this journey to bring you to where you are today. So they're sitting out at the back in the seats there. So can you just turn around, maybe take off your cap and wave to them and say thank you to them. Now, obviously, they were not the only support you had. You also had the support of the lecturers and the academics and the support staff that are here. Some of them are here, they're sitting on your left or in front of you, and some are on the stage. So give them the same enthusiastic thank you that you've given to your parents and your guardians. Thank you. I said it this morning, and I'll say it now, that I sense that the enthusiasm that you've expressed for the support of your guardians and your parents was more, and it's rightfully so, than that of the lecturers. You must just remember some of you are coming back to study again at the university. With that said, welcome and enjoy the festivities that we're going to have today. For you, the past few years have been transformational in many, many ways. If you recall the welcome address I gave maybe to some of you, some might not have been here, but I'm reminiscent of the welcome address I gave this year where I refer to the transformation in the same way as, or the transformation of a graduate in the same way as the transformation of the caterpillar or the cocoon into a butterfly. Now, you may be started as cocoons or caterpillars, but today you are butterflies. Beautiful, beautifully dressed, beautifully kitted out, with wings. And I'm sure you want to use that wings to fly and to have your freedom. But you must remember that all the freedoms that you claim for yourself have consequences. And I will talk a little bit about that at a later stage. I want to reflect and take you back 16 or 17 years ago when you started grade 1. Who would have imagined or thought that you would today sit here waiting maybe one of the penultimate high moments of your life, receiving a diploma or degree? I'm sure you recall those first days when you came to university, the uncertainty, but also the excitement of being at university. I'm sure some of you are excited now because you're going to graduate, and you probably have the same sense of excitement, but it's a different type of excitement that you're experiencing. You are now in a new phase of your life and in a new place in your life. And this new phase and new place transcends you into what I refer to as another platform and another phase of development in your life. You have grown, and you'll certainly not be the same again, ever. If again I use the analogy of the cocoon to the butterfly, you are indeed a butterfly now. You've entered in your life another season of your life. And if I equate the seasons to the weather, we know that we have the 4 seasons. Spring, I start with spring because it's the most exciting season. Summer, fall or autumn, and winter. We know that seasons play an important role in our lives. The weather plays an important role. It determines what we wear, what we eat, what we do in our free time, and so forth and so forth. And if you transpose that to the seasons of your life, it's exactly the same. The season of spring, which is what you more or less in now in your lives, is a season of hope, a season of new beginnings, a season where you start new things, where you meet new people, and you've done so during your time at university. Some of you even met your spouses, am I correct? Yeah, I'm sure you have. And it's also a season of expectation. It's that expectation. You want to go on to the next step. You are now entering, or some of you, the season of summer. Typically, the season of summer in your lives will be the season of further growth, of abundance. You will have more abundance of everything. But it's also a season of distraction. And make sure that you take heed of that. Then you will, maybe later, before you know it, in a wink of an eye, you will enter the season of autumn. That's when you hit 50. It's around the corner, don't worry. That's when you savor your successes, but also your failures. You will have to reflect. You maybe have more responsibilities. You have a family that's maybe going to be a son and daughter that's going to sit in the same venue, waiting for a degree or diploma to be conferred on them. Then, after that, you enter the season of winter. Sometimes a season of loneliness, of sickness, of sadness, and even heartbreak. Now, I project forward because it's important that you must know that in this season of spring and summer that you are now, and that you find yourself now, it's important that you reflect on your past and know about your past, but also not to forget your present. So don't forget your present and your past. Because by understanding your past and your present, you can make better decisions, and you can choose the right path to achieve your goals and your desires, thereby making every season that I've mentioned a worthwhile, engaging, and productive experience. Just as your season of spring was a productive experience that brought you to where you are today, your season of summer and your season of autumn and your season of winter must be something that you must savor and you must experience to the full. In the season of abundance that you're now entering and the season of further growth, I encourage you all to be mindful, to serve liberally and give liberally of yourself. Because by giving of yourself, you display leadership. And we depend on you to, as the young people, the graduates, the ones that have the knowledge, to display the leadership to face the challenges of our society out there. You are a special group of people, very special. You, this group here, you're one of 329 graduates in education that will receive their qualification today. 329 out of a graduating class of 766. The strange thing about this class, but it's actually not so strange, is that 2/3 of this graduating class are females. So, this group of 329 students, I hope that Plaatje University taught and equipped you to be a contributor to society. Now, you are teachers, or going to be teachers, and teaching is a noble profession. It's a calling. And if you do, you must have a passion to be able to be sincere and to run the course in teaching. As graduates, you have a special place in society. For education have been known to have to in fact give people the greatest opportunity for making an impact on the lives of others. If it wasn't for your teachers, you wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for teachers, none of us would be where we are today. So you are a special group of people. I said in my welcome address to the first years earlier this year that education is a humbling experience. So we will depend on you in future, graduates like yourself, to play a pivotal role to break the cycle of poverty and inequality. So go back to the communities that you come from and make a constructive contribution. Be instrumental in providing some of the solutions to the challenges we face in this country. Don't become part of the problem. Be part of the solution. You have to contribute to your families, your communities, the villages you come from, and the country at large. Live up to the vision of Plaatje University. And I'll read that so that it's embedded in your memory. Our vision is to be a university critically engaged in learning, research, and development, while enhancing democratic practice and social justice in society. I hope that through you graduating here, we are living up to that vision, and we in fact give purpose to our mission, to engage critically with communities of discourse and communities of people in order to search for pathways to equitable development. So go forth and be citizens that are competent and capable of realizing the aspirations of society. You are the hope of the future. Congratulations once again on your achievement, the achievement of your family, your extended families, and to a certain extent, the achievement of the university. May I make use of the opportunity also to thank all my colleagues that made a contribution to make this event a successful event. From our service staff, our cleaning staff, our security personnel, the organizing committee, everyone that had a hand to make this moment a memorable moment for all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, VC. I'm now going to call on our Dean of Students, Ms. Nicole Morris, to introduce our guest speaker for this session. Ms. Morris.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. It is indeed a great honor and a privilege to introduce our guest speaker this afternoon. Professor Elelwani Ramugondo is the Deputy Vice Chancellor responsible for Transformation, Student Affairs, and Social Responsiveness at the University of Cape Town. She was the Deputy Dean for Postgraduate Education at the Faculty of Health Sciences, UCT. She commenced her academic career in 1998, having served as an occupational therapist in rural South Africa and the United States of America. Professor Elelwani's work at UCT over the past 23 years has focused on leading with integrity, recognizing this to be pivotal in advancing transformation and excellence as interdependent and interlinked concepts. She is the founding member of the UCT Black Academic Caucus, has been the vice chairperson and a member of its executive committee until recently. She served 3 years as a warden within UCT student housing and residence life. From July 2016 to July 2020, she was a member of the UCT Council. She has also served as chair of UCT's Academic Freedom Committee, which hosted 5 successful TB Davy lectures under her leadership. As head of the Division for Occupational Therapy, Elelwani led a division which became the most diverse occupational therapy program both nationally and internationally in terms of its staff and students. During this time, she also spearheaded curriculum transformation aimed towards a postgraduate profile that is responsive to the local context while being globally competitive. Elelwani's decolonial approach to teaching and convening postgraduate courses has received international recognition, leading to numerous invitations to lead symposia for postgraduate students and faculties in South America, the United Kingdom, and North America. She is often invited to give keynote addresses on transformation, higher education, or decolonizing the academy, both nationally and abroad. She convened the inaugural UCT Decolonial Summer School and is a regular speaker at the University of KwaZulu-Natal Decolonial Summer School. In October this year, she will be giving an honorary lectureship for the American Society for the Study of Occupational Therapy. She will be the first Black person to deliver this lecture. Elelwani was appointed Special Advisor on Transformation to the Vice Chancellor of UCT in 2015 in response to the student-led Rhodes Must Fall movement's call for decolonization. She later became a member of the Strategic Executive Task Team during one of the most tumultuous times in the university's history. In these roles, she participated in complex, highly charged, faculty-based, and institution-wide dialogues on decolonization and decoloniality. She was instrumental in crafting the UCT Curriculum Change Framework, which is centered on decoloniality and was released to the public in June 2018. Elelwani has served on numerous boards for non-governmental organizations, including Kids Positive, which was the first to facilitate access to antiretroviral treatment for children born with HIV. She was recently the chair of the Rhodes Scholarship Western and Northern Cape Selection Committee. Also recently, she was conferred with an honorary professorship by the Stirling University, United Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Elawani.
Thank you for that generous introduction, Dean of Students. What a glorious occasion, and I feel greatly honored to be addressing you this afternoon. My gratitude in the first instance goes to the Vice-Chancellor and Principal, Professor Andrew Crouch, who felt I was worthy to join in today's celebrations and to share some few words. I also wish to thank the Registrar, Dr. Jody Cedras, as well as his magnificent team in actioning the invitation for me to be here. Allow me, please, to acknowledge dignitaries in our presence, the Chancellor, Judge Stephen Majid, Chair of Council, Judge Pashwane, and other council members present, as well as the Chair of Convocation, Mr. Mushe. Special acknowledgement goes to parents, gogos, abo makhulu, abo rakhadi, abo malume, siblings, and other family members joining our graduates today. I say halala. Recognizing the selflessness and sacrifice that comes with supporting our graduates this far. Special recognition also goes to members of the Student Representative Council, present, and all academics. I also feel proud to be sharing the graduation platform with members of the university senior management, donned in Sol Plaatje platform regalia that I know will leave many of my colleagues at the University of Cape Town simply drooling. For these colors symbolize very strongly where we find ourselves in the world. In preparing my talk, it was very tempting to do what academics or keynote speakers often do when given a platform. And let me immediately qualify that. I'm talking here about South African academics or keynote speakers in general, except a few. What South African keynote speakers, including academics, often do, myself included, is that whenever we are given an academic platform, such as this one, we find reason to quote some person elsewhere. Elsewhere not even being the rest of the African continent. This person from elsewhere is often male and white, usually a dead white male person at that. I've spent sufficient time thinking about what that is all about, and it boils down to one thing. We as Africans do not think we are worthy enough to be cited. By implication, our stories as Africans do not count. Today, on this occasion, I have decided to break away completely from this tendency, to insist that our stories as Africans, your stories, matter. So in my address, I'm going to focus on 3 key points. 1, stories. 2, emotion. And 3, observation as the mother of all that is knowledge. On stories, my realization that our stories as Africans matter comes at the back of 2 book publications. The first book involves a number of us on the continent and is authored by a Kenyan sister based in the United States of America, Eda Mutua. The book focuses on Black scientists in Africa. A whole chapter is dedicated to my story as a clinician and researcher in health sciences. Until I sat down with this Kenyan sister, also an academic, I thought I had no story worth telling. When I get to talk about observation as the mother of all that is knowledge, I will share a bit of what is in that chapter. The second book was published in honor of our beloved late Professor Bongani Mayosi, who was Dean of the Faculty of Health Sciences at the University of Cape Town and passed away tragically through suicide. Until you read the book entitled Doctor of Hearts, you do not know who Professor Bongani Mayosi really was. A question that becomes immediately poignant is this: why do we as Africans often wait until one of us has passed on before we really get to know them? We know this very well. Beautiful eulogies at funerals. And often this being the time that even family members say, I had no idea who she, he, or they were. I have 2 recent such funerals and beautiful eulogies in my own family. It does not need to be like that. But let me tell you this much. Professor Bongani Mayosi's formative years were as a student at the then University of Natal. And this is where your story as graduates today of Saul Plaatje University comes in. Today, on the 8th graduation ceremony at SPU, you become part of the alumni of one of the 2 youngest and the first universities post-1994 in South Africa. The other one is the University of Mpumalanga. This is significant. And please promise me that you will make a fuss about this very point. No other university, except these 2 universities, can lay claim to being the academic offsprings of our new democracy, carrying no baggage of being historically black or historically white universities. You are the tangible product of a young, vibrant democracy filled with hope and promise. Please never forget that. And I hope you include this in your curriculum vitae always. Being a product of a university such as Saul Plaatje and its temporal location in our history is that we can be assured that you have imbibed the true values of a democratic society, primarily equity and social justice. Like Professor Mayosi, whose becoming as a young doctor was formed mostly by the informal curriculum, including a realization that reference to black people as non-white was an insult. You too would have learned from the corridors, sport fields, dining halls, perhaps even protest, how to claim your dignity as Africans and humans without question. Let me now move to emotion. It is my sneaky suspicion that most of you are here today with mixed emotions. On one hand, I expect you to be excited beyond measure, but on the other hand, also anxious. Excitement makes sense, given that this is a joyous occasion. Who would not be excited that they are graduating? Often against odds. But there's also often anxiety about responsibilities that come with being a graduate. If you already have a potential job offer, anxiety is tied to the question, am I ready? Do I know enough? If there are no immediate job prospects, anxiety, of course, is around, now what? How do I deal with expectations and perhaps the obligation to pay back study loans? These are immense, burdensome considerations for a young person to carry. 31 years ago, or 1992, I was exactly where you are today. My anxieties were of the first kind I described. I had received a fully paid bursary from the then Bantustan vendor with the expectation that I would, on graduation, establish the first ever occupational therapy department at a school for children with special learning needs. I immediately felt ill-equipped. Now, in health sciences, apart from the graduation ceremony, at least at the University of Cape Town where I studied, we also take an oath presided over by the dean. I recall that the dean at the time struck a conversation with me about my sense of readiness. Of course, I stood out because I was the only one of this complexion in my class at the time. My answer to him, and an honest answer at that, was that I was definitely not ready because I did not know nearly enough. This is when he said to me, "We never teach you to have all the answers, but we give you tools through which to find answers." Best advice I ever received as a young graduate. I must tell you that when I finally got to this school for special learning needs, I realized that I would only have a nurse as the closest cognate professional to work with, to attend to almost 400 learners with physical, visual, and hearing impairment. As educators yourselves, you will immediately appreciate what challenges come with this. In her wisdom, the Dutch physiotherapist and a colleague who had preceded me at the school had advised that if the school could not afford both an occupational therapist and a physiotherapist, it was prudent that they appoint an occupational therapist. I was that occupational therapist, with no physiotherapist, no speech therapist, no clinical psychologist, no remedial teacher, no audiologist, and no social worker. I'm naming these professions because a well-resourced school for children with special learning needs would need to have all of these professionals. As a new graduate, my first job was to work with vulnerable learners under conditions where I had to cover for all these gaps. It takes believing that yours is a calling to serve, to cope in such situations. I worked there for 3 years, and I know I left an indelible mark. This takes me to the last message I want to leave with you. And this is about observation, being the mother of all that is knowledge. So with the almost 400 vulnerable learners under my care, the school principal, in his wisdom, advised me to only focus on those with physical impairment, for they needed me most. A tough ask, but I complied, except I opened up possibilities for visually and hearing impaired learners to join our social skills and psychosocial groups. The school was residential, and in my youthful enthusiasm, I had moved into the hostel so that I could attend to the extracurricular activities and care in the dormitories. This is how I observed that in the section where learners with speech and hearing impairment lived, there was always window panes broken. They would be broken as soon as they were fixed. It was only through the social skills and psychosocial groups that the mystery of the broken window panes was solved. breaking windows, it turned out, was the only way these learners could register their deep concern over a teacher who was a sexual predator. Preying on pubescent girls in that section. I must also add that this was a junior school with mostly 6 to 13-year-olds. As you may be aware, young people with speech and hearing impairment may very well appear to mature physically earlier compared to those with visual or physical impairment. They can certainly also be self-conscious about looks, which this sexual predator obviously took advantage of. The school management, I must say, were very supportive of the efforts that I put on the table to address the issue. And as soon as the issue was sufficiently addressed, there were no more broken window panes. Why am I highlighting observation as the mother of all knowledge? I do so because observation comes before forming a hypothesis for experimentation or posing a theoretical proposition for further exploration. But often, we are told to focus more on what others have written, often from the worst, or pushed to move too quickly to abstraction, where we shift from the peculiar to making hasty statements of general inference. My appeal to you today, as you go out onto the big, wild world with your qualifications, is this: that you are vigilant about being robbed of your important observations. There's also no need for sleepwalking. What you observe around you is the beginning of generating important knowledge. In the story of the broken window panes, you also get to understand the power of emotion to steer us into seeking justice, which learners in the speech and hearing impaired section of the school in my story sought to achieve and did so successfully. I want to end with this, that without emotion, duly acknowledged, there's no conviction, no justice, and certainly no story to tell. Without observation in the real world, there is no authentic quest for knowledge. So as you go out there, living your alma mater, born out of our new democracy, embrace your feelings of excitement mixed with anxiety. Understand in particular what underlies your anxiety. But most importantly, look around you always. And remember, observation is the mother of all that is knowledge. Let nobody fool you. Congratulations once again.
Thank you, Professor Ramagondo. Another hand of applause, please. I'm going to ask the choir, the SPU student choir, to make their way up to the front to deliver the second item. Thank you. Well sung. Thank you to our choir. As tradition requires, I'm going to ask the Vice-Chancellor to approach the lectern and request the Chancellor to award the certificates and diplomas and to confer the degrees on our graduandi. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request that you award the higher certificates, diplomas, and confer the degrees of the university to those candidates in the School of Education whose names appear in the program.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I award the higher certificates, diplomas, and confer the degrees of the Plaatje University to those candidates whose names appear in the program.
Thank you, Chancellor. We've come to that part of the ceremony that you've been waiting for. To walk the stage. The head of school, Professor Ndoferepi, will ascend the lectern and we'll start that process. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Program Director, and good afternoon to you all. First of all, I would like to congratulate all the graduates from the School of Education, 329 in number, the largest in the University of South Plaatje. And I also equally want to congratulate staff from the School of Education for a job well done. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present the following candidates who have complied with the requirements for the postgraduate certificate in education. Kabelo via PLM. Elizan Andrea Brink. Kelly Venus Buffel. Lihlohonolo Chabe. Leonie Sunette Christian. Tatum Colleen Clotilde. Keawaka Casino Moore. Thank you. Janine Robin Aramse, sorry. Shyam Aisha Hassan. Tricia Mpo Huma. Itumelen Rofelo Moshe. Didn't Vanessa Mosesani. Kosefalo Moshelele. Ayawokwe Kaudi. Kiamo Hetse Gladys Kit. Sisipo Koba. Passed with distinction, sorry. Levohan McDonald Kubuga Kane. Caroline Ruelda Low, passed with distinction. Okushwe Luane, Tuto Mabohola, Connie Marole. Komoso Tekla Mohadi. Lebohan Matthews Mpeseng. Vuyo J. Ndlovu. Lisedi Borakalego Rikabelo Yelo Nyadeni. Achumile Nikanyika. Wongwetu Pony. Mantwa Promise Rasignalo with distinction. Puseleso Wanile Mongale passed with distinction. Haraletsang Selokelo. Donald Teboho Stuame. Kamahelo Taisi passed with distinction. Chandri Lorraine Wilkinson passed with distinction. Tokozani Fortune Zulu. Voitumelo Gladys Diom. Voingolo Akinyani. Zolile Dayaya passed with distinction. Eugene Llewellyn Andrew Makaris. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present the following candidates who have complied with the requirements for the Bachelor of Education in Intermediate Grade. Marina Alexander. Robenick Roche Alexander. Samira Alexander passed with distinction. Paeleso Prosperous Apple Green. Michaela Marie Bam. Kiasha Clarissa Bartlett. Sadua Ann Benedict. Vanessa Adele Blow. Miralu Blanco Naidu. Siposetu Natalie Tando Putelezi. Claydine Grace Deploy. Mary Jo Ketamilwe Dutoy. Yitha Iso. Shannon Eroline Garland. Tristan Gomez. Lauren Pauline Irene Gordon. Nasima Gordon. Franzel London Cause. Katleko Precious Jackals. Cabello Yanti. Segametsi Nomzamo Jokam. Komolemo Yoni. Tumalano Horo. Catherine Kawasang Matare. Gladine Maglas. Okay. Malevoho Tevetsile. Bumane Mafuna. Chad McPherson. Kyle Maddox. Kumile Hunadi Liakwana. Luyanda Good Boy. Oh, Leander Good Boy Kabeka. Yes. Halalelo Mative. Nosipo Memela. Micah Isabel Julius. Lena Juma. Waitsepi Mildred Katlane. Irene Kedivone Mavitso. Nonofo Sarah Mahura. Tesang Constancia Makutu. Dipone Charity Maroro. Tasnim Matlow. Sepang Masur. Felicia Suazen Matlakala. Nozipo Prudence Mazri. Matlapelo Bridget Metzimetzi. Wait. Oisoko Momutsiwa. Boipelo Vinodia Odifan. Nkosi IV Moketla. Sekofatso Antonella Molawolwa. Refilwe Primrose Molewofo. Voipelo Branseli Mulusi. Sarah Siadimo Moremi. Cyprian Olevo Keng Monsiki. Anna Mutlavignani. Velemina Kadifele Musokai. Sereleso Precious Mutube. Vanette Eileen Nodia. Vutle Priska Ngube. Kennedy Buza Devele. Homolemo Gloria Nkobe. Angel Babongile Tsele. Tumisang Rejoice Pakedi. Huesaone Formation Ramsidi, sorry. Rianza Jodine Sal. Rico Honoro Dani Sevolai. Venue Alexius Sekamegeng. Ketumesi Joyce Selegam. Precious Cecilia. Letasia Allison Swat. Keneliwe Renal Tabani. Lebogang Tseletsane. Lisedi Monica Titi. Kopo Ronel Tunyani. Hatsiso Pemelo Vanessa Chavile. Kutwano Rose Vidboy. Munei Patience Mahada passed with distinction. Mr. Chancellor, I have the pleasure of informing you that Munei Patience Mahada receives an award for the best performing students in teaching practice. Best performing student in teaching practice, best performing student in natural science teaching, and the last word, and best overall performing student in the School of Education in recognition of her achievement. Leandro. Leandra Potkita passed with distinction. Mr. Chancellor, I have the pleasure of informing you that Leandra Potkita receives an award for best performing student in human sciences teaching in recognition of her achievement. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present the following candidates who have complied with the requirements for the Bachelor of Education in Senior Phase and FET Teaching. Virginia Sumenai Shadain Andre Aris, sorry. Osepeng Blessing Vaitai. Precious Naledi Vandovet. Tassin Simone Bedwell. Sue Allen Bucas. Miriam Claudia Blom. Ntaviseng Boikanyo. Eudeclid Bosman. Nokubonga Samkelisiwe Butelezi. Julia Dinio Chaka. Jamie Nicole Clutem. Karen Cochrane. Wonga Alpheus Dlamini. Wesley Gary Frank Francis. Suni Yvette Fredericks. Katladirelang Marvin Gabonewe. Tlotlo Kharekwe. Tavo Kautuse. Woikovo Ungarabile Muriel Karinavotse. Vanessa George. Jack Herman. Lindiwe Poppy Tlhagala. Umpemese Joe. Zoltan Valentine Johnson. Shonel Leo Ann Jones. Kakiso John. Mankwa Mahomo. Toleso Groni Seleboho. Kyorabetse Precious Ramakhari. Katleko Fixity Chawa Yetse Sele. Wendy Tolofelo Matebuka Edu. Antlese Maputi. Kenny Kavanakosi Kalimkelwe. Eliza Kubido. Tapelo Reginald Wolao. My one gift share. Goguletu Angel Bing. August Letsie. Ohone Sehlavetsa. Letseho Lizel Podile. Renasari Nosipo Panskav. Valencia Evelyn Visaji. Maleboho Krelesa Opat. Bianca Bridget Williams. Natasha Williams. Lazan Zarina Mercedes Zhao. Seho Lehari. Kisa Vaha Uchuan. Kaone Maejo Lucero. Camila Luisa Samson. Janice Levin Sowers. Kamkeso Maobi. Kamkelo Maobi. Moabi. Makauta Elijah Muteto. Ayanda Sidwell Nombela. Rabawone Benedict Plaatje. Joel Muraki. Jade Taylor Michael. Wait. Dimpo Matiko. Faith Lisedi Sotesi. Amelia Wilma Solomons. Shonez Resedin Springhan. Didintre Matolo. Awokwe Vincentio Chaku. Busisiwe Kitso Nkosi. Tato Paris Motsumi. Keitumesi Yvonne Makoloke. Ompile Yvonne Mukwame. Oratile Beatrice Lishake. Nomsa Naledi Matewane. Abraham Gosnati Sitata. Ronisa Situha. Somarelo Bridget Hoanateve. Lepang Precious Vanganeneng. Oratile Enji Moreo. Kwamkese Shanice Homo. Michael Homoso Molatodi. Malvongwe Samuel Nzeku. Dinio Molakele. Ke homoditswe Lesetedi. Pamelo Millicent Letlako. Vahaye Clinton Bees. Victor Kanyatsile Tao. Woitseko Molore. Bopelo Serun. Sydney Toleng Sabigi. Seko Faso Wilson Semho. Vadeseng Ketura Kolowe. Benita Chuma. Rosina Mankeneke
committee. Olebogeng Stephen Sehaho. Jeandre Claudia Joubert. Kiaotsepa Evidence Kobetsi. Rebaone Segafatso Huapi. Daniel Kubon. Overken Daniel Kok. Rorisang Primrose Kok. Neo Kopamutse. Nteboheng Memory Kitaone. Seose Nyeng Kosi. Sianda Mpako Kubeka. Leonie Leban. Tsekofatso Martha Landro. Seroma Rachel Mojoro. Desmonique Desireen Simone Nelson. Nomsa Siagayin Nomhang. Jolene Catherine Valentine. Rick Ann Jane Os. Ntabeleng Leo. Tulisile Lumesa. Kiso Fredolin Christel. Funiwe Skadi. Refilwe NG Riatekile Mopen. Bonolo Unewang Bonolo Unewang. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present the following candidates who have complied with the requirements for the Bachelor of Education in Curriculum Studies. Honors. Catherine Maleboho Mohale. Rachel Tato Mafata. Amogelang Malebongo Magape. Eduardo Goram Malouli. Thank you. Tato Yvonne Matilali Wane. Atalia Poppy Matile. Tisetso Mutsetao. Itumeleng Francis Maupa. Tamara Mtwa. Tato Mtobi. Toriso Posia Mate. Sejo Podiso Salvation Lunao. Ontatile Limona. Kiaboga Kile Mapunya. Onefeng Austin Maketa. Offense Jermaine Machoba. Levan Simon Masilo. Will Mary Maritz. Auvakwe Maske. Tumisang Patrick Mukhele. Sonia Mina. Lurid Marisol Ngomezulu. Pomolo Lydia Moen. Klotlo Nivicius Mueto. Tuto Muleme. Rosette Matogonolo. Selina Malekani Muloa Chao. Tumelo Malvin Musikari. Owen Moss. Mrongwa Charlotte Matobani Mutlabani. Precious Mutsei. Snebongo Hope Mrabe. Passed with distinction. Tshwanelo Vika Ngagatitsile. Ndudusi Pila Mzila. Lebogang Bessie Nemalang. Peter Msiza. Austin Luke Obrem. Kirsten Peterson. Lobisa Elisa Rampayat Pedi. Ongaravetse Jacqueline Harris Rekwe. Moipelo Innocentia Nyoko. Abonga Nukokwa. Jade Davina Ontong. Kieletso Muriel Seb. Tato Brandon Pudumuhudu. Badronisa Marlena Price. Rolivua Ramu Hulo. Masvambani Ramukhulu. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present the following candidates who have complied with the requirements for the postgraduate diploma in mathematics education. Lulama Dorcas Kaswind. Nodian Trevor Jansen. Cindy So Ngube passed with distinction. Byron Alonso Pinar. Shane Lionel Katleko Swartz. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present the following candidates who have complied with the requirements for the Bachelor of Education honors in curriculum studies. Eric Apia Kusi. Nolene Cynthia Guthrie. Puseletso Nkorambi. Nomazulu Frumentia Levakeng. Ditiro Albert Ruele passed with distinction. Mr. Chancellor, I have the pleasure of informing you that Ditiro Albert Leruele receives an award for the best performing student in B.Ed Honors Curriculum Studies in recognition of his achievement. Charity Matipelo. Kakisano Gladness Ndo. Tawanda Mara. Brandon Martin. Sashni Michaela Peterson. Fikile Jason Sitore. Henry Clint Raul Fantunda. Kevin Brandon Jones. Nolene Willie. Mr. Chancellor, the candidates whose names were not read but appear on the program receive their degrees in absentia. I thank you.
Now that you have graduated, you are members of the Plaatje University Convocation. And to welcome you into the Convocation is the President of the Convocation, Mr. Thabo Moshe. Mr. Moshe, thank you.
Thank you for the revolutionary slogan, academics. Again, I'm not trying to be biased, but I have a brother from another mother. Because of our silly father, that's why we love each other. He has graduated, Mr. Lebogang Pecheng, from Pampristat again. Itumele Maupa, Pampristat. We are making Paper City to be dustless. As much as others are making their townships, their cities to be dustless too. Before I go any further, let me take this opportunity to greet the Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor, Chairperson of Council, the Dean of Students, the SMT. It's not in chronological order, but it's fine. The academics. When I arrive here, when I speak about the academics, I speak about people who mothered and fathered me through the journey of teaching. The likes of Dr. Mpisi, Dr. Vietz, Mama Kapilo. I cannot call all the names, but to my current mentors for my master's in education, Dr. Bomi Duplessis and Dr. Alan Felix. Thank you very much. Also to our distinguished guests, our keynote speaker, I greet you. Our graduates, parents, and all those that I could not or maybe forgot to mention, greetings to you all. By name, they call me Thabo Moshe, the old machine of SPU, the fire eater, clarifier of all contradictions, the original child of this institution, and father of social anarchism. When I look at you, before I proceed with this, I want to tell teachers one thing. You are the teachers now, those who are the first graduates. I'm not speaking to the PGCE or the postgraduates. I'm speaking about those who just did B.Ed now. There is a probability that 50% probability that sometimes the reason your children fail is because you did not teach properly, not because they are not learning. You must bear that in mind. When I look at you, the class of 2022, I see a light of hope for our dark society. I see an inspiration that has always been lacking in our hopeless townships. Your parents must brag about you wherever they go, as some of us did not make it to the end, because some students did not meet the requirements. Some were almost done, but death did not allow them to walk up on the stage. My dear friend, Bitumelo Babuile, ICT 2014, may your soul continue to rest in peace. Tato Mere, class of 2016, aka Stola, may your soul rest in peace. And others who have never met, nor had a pleasure to engage in social spaces, if you are no longer with us, may your soul rest in peace. I would like to apologize if I have deeply cut into the healing wounds, but credit must be given where it's due. Today is a happy day for everyone who is here. Everyone has gathered here to witness the victory that we've been seeking for 3, 4, 5, or maybe more years. But thank you for not giving up. You are now part of the alumni family. The president of the Convocation welcomes you to the alumni. Because one day, your journey should not end here. Go out there and impart the knowledge that you got through sweat and tears, those endless nights, anxiety and depression, longest nights of bioplus and caffeine, the panic of exam time. All those has ended for now, but please keep on studying, because you are no longer the oxalayo type, but the type of perhaps and otherwise. In his memoir, Frantz Fanon says, each and every generation must, out of its relative obscurity, discover its mission, fulfill it or betray it. Lastly, through you, Registrar, I would like to say congratulations to the class of 2022. You guys are the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Moshe, for those words welcoming our new graduates into the convocation. I'm going to ask you to please rise and stand for the singing of the national anthem, and also to remain standing until the Chancellor has dissolved this congregation, and to remain standing for the academic procession to leave the hall, followed by our graduates, and we'll take it from there. So thank you, everyone. Kia leboga.
My duty is simply to dissolve the congregation, but if I may, if you will permit me, graduates, may I say a few words, please? If anybody objects, it's overruled. I love coming to graduation ceremonies because what Mr. Thabo Moshe calls the light of hope, that is you. It is the light of hope to counter what Professor Ramagundo has so beautifully called the broken window panes. And she gave a wonderful speech, thank you, Professor, from the heart, sharing personal details about her journey. A journey of a pioneer, a black woman. I say again, a black woman. And where I sit in the highest court in the country, in the Constitutional Court, I am very concerned about the cases that come our way and what we see in the country. But you give me hope. That is why I come here. Thank you. Thank you, graduates. Thank you, parents. Thank you, papas, mamas, gogos, malume. Baie dankie. Yalibocha. Thank you. Thank you to the senior management team and to the academics and all the support staff for bringing us to where we are all today. And your victory is our victory. Thank you. And now, by the authority vested in me, I dissolve this congregation of the Plaatje University. Thank you.
Hello, graduates, please remain seated. May the graduates remain seated, please. Thank you so much. There's been a late change of plan because of the storm outside. Your gifts will be brought to you inside the hall. The parents can wait for you outside. The graduates will get their gifts inside here. Thank you. Thank you so much. Graduates, if you can